Let's see if I can look at the primer. 21 pages? This isn't a quick read? The 4 pillars, the 4 promises, White House office, Heritage Foundation. Project 2025 is a 180-day plan to dismantle not just parts of our lives, but our work in this world. Well, yeah. I mean, if Project 2020... Like, Trump has distanced himself from this on so many occasions. He's like, I have no idea what this is. It has nothing to do with my administration. They still keep trying to push it as something that will. But it's like, it's funny that they're just like, Project 2025 is dangerous because it's going to dismantle our work. Project 2025 is 900 pages. Here's our 21-page response. Pillar 1, a consensus view of how federal agencies must be governed. Pillar 2, a personnel database of vetted conservatives for the president to select for positions. Project 2025 describes it as a database that allows candidates to build their own professional profiles and coalition members to review and voice recommendations as a way to streamline the appointment process. Pillar 3, Presidential Administration Academy, an online education system on how the government functions. Pillar 4, the playbook, agency teams, and transition plans for the first 180 days in office. Restore the family as the centerpiece of American life and protect the children. Eliminate marriage penalties and federal welfare programs and the tax code. Pornography is equated with transgender ideology. Well, I mean, porn addiction is a thing, right? Purveyors to be imprisoned. What? Librarians and educators who purvey it will be classified as sex offenders. If you're pushing sexual and pornographic topics to children, I mean, yeah, you should be. Telecommunications and technology firms that facilitate the spread of it are shuttered. Well, good, right? Install work requirements for food stamps. Why is this bad? Eliminate terms, sexual orientation and gender identity, diversity, equity and inclusion, gender, gender identity, gender equity, gender awareness, gender sensitive, abortion, reproductive rights, and any other term used to deprive Americans of their First Amendment rights out of every federal rule, agency regulation, contract, grant, regulation, and piece of legislation that exists. This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't, I mean, like, based for wanting to remove subversive Marxist language, right? But also it does, how does that deprive Americans of First Amendment rights? That doesn't make any sense. Federal policy to get tech out of the hands of children. Also good. Have you guys seen that video of like children reacting to the intro of Coco Melon? Like that shit is weird, man. They need to know what adults only mean. Yeah, right? Dismantle the administrative state and return self-governance to the American people. Reduce size and scope of federal government. How to fire unfireable federal bureaucrats. Close wasteful, corrupt bureaus. Muzzle woke propaganda. Increase national defense. Reduce the oversight power of Congress and the Supreme Court. Why do we hate Project 2025 again? Why is this a bad thing? I've only ever heard like the fucking progressive screeching about it, so it's just like, what the fuck? Oh man, my arm. What's the problem here? Defend sovereignty, borders, and bounty against death threats. Eliminate international treaties. Stop extreme environmentalists. Defend America's energy interests. Stop fostering a global economy. Globalists in shambles, dude? Like, what? The 4 promises. Secure our God-given individual right to enjoy the blessings of liberty, such as economic freedom. Why is this bad? A total ban on abortion. Again, like, Trump has said many times that he has no interest in doing this. He delivered it back to the states. It's a states issue. Ban gender-affirming care. Based. Dismantle agencies that oversee laws that enforce equality. The Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972. Remove rights of the LGBTQIA+ community. I'm still very confused. Ban critical race theory and gender ideology from public institutions. The next conservative president must make the institutions of American civil society hard targets for woke culture warriors. This starts with deleting the terms sexual orientation and gender identity, or SOGI, SOGI. What? Diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, gender equality, gender equity, gender awareness, gender sensitive, abortion, reproductive health, reproductive rights, and any other term used to deprive Americans of their First Amendment rights. But like, what? How? Deregulate big business and the oil industry. What? Eliminate labor protections, close the borders, free market capitalism, eliminate environmental protections and foster tapping reserves of oil and natural gas, removal of federal government employees and replaced with individuals from their personnel database. These are both really vague and somehow don't seem real. Throughout the chapter, the author stresses the idea of staffing all these positions with activist conservatives, restructuring proposed, presumably to give President more power to act more quickly, limiting mainstream press access to the White House. Didn't they only specifically say that they were going to limit, like, specific news organizations? Like, you know? It was also disavowed by Trump, so why are they on about it? I have no idea. That's what I'm saying. Like, Trump has just been like, this has nothing to do with me or my administration. I don't know what that is, man. Limiting mainstream press access to the White House, allow for outside conservative legal advice. Enhanced criteria for military service and specific occupational career fields should be based on the needs of those positions. Exceptions for individuals who are already predisposed to require medical treatment, for example, HIV positive, or suffering from gender dysphoria, should be removed. I mean, yes, you want a military that is capable, right? Like, those with gender dysphoria should be expelled from military service. Physical fitness requirements should be based on the occupational field without consideration of gender, race, ethnicity, or orientation. That seems very logical. I don't understand. Eliminate Marxist oh, now they're finally calling it what it is. Eliminate Marxist indoctrination and divisive critical race theory programs and abolish newly established diversity, equity, and inclusion offices and staff. What? Audit the course offerings at military academies to remove Marxist indoctrination, eliminate tenure for academic professionals, apply the same rules to instructors that are applied to other Department of Defense contracting personnel. Reverse policies that allow transgender individuals to serve in the military. Gender dysphoria is incompatible with the demands of military service, and the use of public money for transgender surgeries or to facilitate abortion for service members should be ended. True. Audit all curricula and health policies in the Department of Defense schools for military families, remove all inappropriate materials, and reverse inappropriate policies. I just like, what the hell? Replacement of the entire Homeland Security Advisory Committee. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement prioritize national security in the Student and Exchange Visitor Program. ICE should end its current cozy deference to educational institutions and remove security risk from the program. Interesting. Interesting. This is the stuff that Bridge is saying Trump is evil for? That's what it seems like. Public broadcasting, diversity, equity, and inclusion agenda, Agency for International Development, Department of Agriculture, Department of Education, Department of Health and Human Services. Okay. All right. I'm not sure what I was supposed to, like, gain here. At the request of the industry, Bridge has created the Project 2025 Quick Read and Primer documents that help provide education on its contents and potential implications to employees and businesses. These resources address the most relevant aspects of Project 2025. Okay, all right. If Trump does even 10% of that, his second term will go down in history. I mean, maybe some of it is planned, but again, he said that Project 2025 has nothing to do with him or his administration.